Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the class to all of you. Today, we're going to start a new topic here, and that is verb. It's very important. It will be a little bit lengthy topic, inshallah. I will try to cover it up as soon as possible, but it will take time from us. We want to study verbs in more detail, clear? And if you understood verbs, I'm sure that understanding tenses are very easy for you. If you understood verbs, you will be capable to understand active, passive, as well direct and indirect. Clear? So let's come towards the topic about verbs. What are verbs? Keep in mind that verb is like an engine of a sentence. Without verb, we cannot make a sentence. If you want to construct a sentence, you need what? You need verb. So I can say that very easily that verb in a sentence, it functions as an engine, the way like an engine functions in a car. Without an engine, car is useless. So the same way, without verb, you cannot construct what? You cannot construct a sentence. So let's come towards to study about the definitions, and I will be explaining all the things to you. This is an example. This is the definition. You can say a verb is a doing verb. What is verb? Verb is a doing verb. What I mean by doing? It's an action. Doing is an action. It's an action word. All actions you perform. When you perform an action, clear, we call it what? We call it verb. What sort of actions? Like what I mean by actions? Actions can be what? Like, let me show you through practically, clear. You can understand. Like for example, I want to eat. What am I doing now here? I'm eating. Now I'm doing what? I'm performing an action here. Can you see? What am I doing here? I'm eating. This is an action. Clear? What I'm doing now? I'm doing an action. I'm crying. This crying is an action. Like when you do something and your body gets involved in doing or performing that action, that is called verb. Like what I'm doing now, I talk, I speak. Clear? What I do now, I write. What I do now, I read. Like, can you see that all actions, clear? I'm performing what? I'm performing actions. So when you want to perform an action, clear? Whenever you perform an action, that is called verb. Like what I'm doing now, I'm cooking. I'm doing things. I'm doing things with what? With the help of what? With my body, with my hands. My hands get involved in it. Huh? Like for example, what I'm doing, I'm playing. Clear? What I'm doing, I'm playing. So playing cricket. Play, the word play is called what? Play. You play. You perform an action. The play is called what? We call it verb. So I'm doing what? I'm sitting. This is an action. I'm standing. Huh? I'm looking at you. I look at you. I see you people. I watch. Clear? So all these words are called what? We call them verbs. So simply we can say that verb is an action word. What is verb? Verb is an action word. Clear? Verb is called what? We call word. Verb is called what? We call it an action word. Let's explain it in more detail. A verb is a doing word which is used to indicate physical action. As I said, the first one, clear? What sort of action? Physical action. As I mentioned earlier, clear? It can show what? It can show physical action. Physical action means you perform with your body, as I said earlier. Number one thing. Number two, it can also show you that of mental actions. What sort of actions? Number two, it also shows us mental action. First of all, as I said earlier, that it shows physical action. Mental action means what? When you do something with the help of mind. Like look, I told you, number one, verb is anything when you perform something physically. You do something physically, play. You do play with what? With physical body. Huh? You write, you read with physical body. But mental actions, what are mental actions? Mental actions are what? You think. Huh? Think. Think is what? You do it with the help of your brain. It's mental action. Clear? Understand. You understand something. Like I'm not doing something with the help of my physical action. Huh? Just some sort of like I'm not doing something with the help of my body, but I'm doing with the help of what? Mental actions. Like for example, I remember. Remember. Huh? Remember is what? It's mental action. For example, I know. I know you. Mental action, know. I trust. Clear? Trust. Mental action. Do you get it or not? So verb can be mental action. Clear? Guess. I guess. So you guess from where? You guess from your mind, from your brain. Get it? So we can say number one, verbs clear shows physical actions. Number two, verbs shows mental actions. Number three, the third one, it shows a state of being. It shows what? A state of being. Like it shows existence. It shows what? It shows existence. Like for example, if I say, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. Like here in this example, if I say I'm a teacher and I'm talking about myself, I'm a teacher. Now, in this case, am I performing an action? But it is a physical action, Puma? No. Physical action is a mental action? No. For that existence, I am a teacher, am verb state of being. Circumstate kiyama, halat kiyama, being a teacher. You are a student. You are a student. Clear? So dito mong gawin word. No word mong three shay na kay. Sumra shay na kay. It can be physical. It shows us physical action. Number two, it shows mental action. And the third word, state of being. No da mong sama take one by one ta suta explain kadi hum di show. Da dri di mong tara. Physical action like swim, write, climb. Mental action, think, guess, consider. A state of being, be, exist, appear. Now we want to study one by one. Clear? We will study what? We will study one by one. All of them. All of the three. All of the three. We will inshallah study now one by one. Now let's come to study one by one. The first one, clear, let's take the first one. And verbs can express physical action. The first one we have what? Verbs can express what? It can express physical action. Verbs can express what? The first one, it can express us physical action. Let me show you here. It can express the first one, physical actions. Clear? Let's take the first one, this one. Verbs can express what? It can express physical action. The first one, let's talk about the first. Here are some of the examples. As I said, the first thing, clear. She sells mangoes on the cart. She sells what? Mangoes. Selling is what? It's a physical action. Am I right? Like when you sell something, selling. Physical action, mental. You give something, you sell out something, that is called what? Physical action. Which one is verb? Sells. But the work she sells. What? Mangoes. But second, the doctor wrote the prescription. The doctor wrote. Clear? The prescription. Wrote. Physical action. Which one is word? Wrote is called word. Clear? For example, next. Ayan bought a ticket. Who bought the ticket? Ayan. Agistal. Purchasing. Sell. Purchase. You bought a ticket. No, that come action then. Physical action there among Sarah. It's a second form. Bought is the second form of buy. The word first form the bought today, buy. Let's move to the second one. We want to talk about now verbs can express what? Mental action. Mental wala. For example, the first one. She considers the job done. She considers. The word consider is a verb, considers. You can't consider. It's not an action, physical action. It's a mental action. She considered. Mind ki consider. We consider something in our mind, in our brain. Clear? So consider is called what now in this case? Consider is called verb. Clear? And it shows what? Mental action. For example, Ayan guessed the right number. Guess. Andaza lagawal. Andaza kamji na taso lagaway. We guess from where? We guess from our mind. Huh? We guess something from where? From mind. No munga civil agat say andaza wala gawala. But if you work come you there. Yes. Mental action. It shows us what? It shows us mental action. For example, here we have I thought the same thing. I thought. Thought is the second form of think. Think is the first form. Second form said thought. I thought. Thinking mind na gawai. So it's a mental action. Now the third one, as I said, verb shows us what? Verb can express a state of what? A state of being. The third thing. Word mangsa se is the state of being mangta shokai. Like for example, a small but extremely important group of words do not express any activity at all. The most important word player in this group, arguably of all, the verb to be. For example, Edvina is the largest elephant in this area. Is. Like for example, Ali is the tallest boy in the class. Existence is a word. It shows state of being. Very good. It shows us state of being. For example, it was a nice joke. It was a joke or it was a nice joke. It was. Clear? State of being. Excellent. I am. M. Clear? M is a verb. I am a teacher, for example. I am. The shortest sentence in English. The shortest sentence in English is I am. English ke the tool na word jumla kame hoda? I am. I am mong sarap English ke the tool na word jumla da. I am. But if you word kame the M. Clear? It shows what? It shows us state of being. Now let's move towards the types of what we want to talk about. Types of verbs. Clear? So verbs are generally divided into two types. How many types? Two types. Verbs are generally divided into how many types? Two types. One we call ordinary verbs, and the second one is called what? Auxiliary verbs. Usmanga raju the dena makhya ko kamanga sabak welo agi ki seshe mungtara che war mungtara seshe khay. Mental action, physical action, and the third one, state of being. Tadrisha mungta khay war. Usmanga way we want to talk about the types of verbs. The verb types, the agamungtar so types, we have got two types. Yo tamanga seveo auxiliary verb, and the second one ordinary verb. Now let's explain one by one what are ordinary verbs and auxiliary verbs. Clear? I want to take something, the whiteboard, and then we will explain one by one. Types of verbs. Sudi Mungsara? Two. Number one, Kamyode? Ordinary. Second one? Auxiliary. Now you need to understand it clear because it's very important. That very important topic that also understand it. The first one, let's talk about ordinary verb. Ordinary verb or main verb. Or you can also call it principal verb. Clear? Or you can also call it common verb. It has got like different names. Ordinary verbs, common verbs, main verbs, principal verbs. Clear? It has got these different names. Who's the Tagore? The word Shidi, it always functions is a main verb in a sentence. It always functions as a main verb. Or if I say it functions is a father. If you cannot keep in your mind, I'm going to explain it in an easy way. Ordinary verbs always function as a father in a sentence. Or it always function as a main verb in a sentence. I'm teaching you people, clear? Go raise so ideas develop format. I'm developing your ideas. How? If I say I write, clear, a letter. But देखिए पूरे मुंग सारा verb दे, कम ये verb दे, but देखिए इसके write. Write is called verb. This is called verb. That the write set up your function there. I can say that ordinary verbs has only one function. Sumra functions is it? It has got only one function. अब come your function there, which function? It function is a main verb. Is a main verb. Ordinary verb has got only one function. How many functions? One function. And it always functions as a father in a sentence. Or it always functions as a main verb in a sentence. The people function is that. When it comes in a sentence, it always functions as a main verb in a sentence. I write a letter. I write a letter. It's a verb, main verb. Us auxiliary verb tarazu. Auxiliary verbs, it has got two functions. That is so functions. It has two functions. That is what functions. Number one function that is a main verb. And number two function that is a helping verb. It has got two functions. Ordinary verbs always, it has how many functions? One function in a sentence. Whereas auxiliary verbs, it has got how many functions? Two functions. If I say is a main verb, he is a teacher. He is a teacher. But the jumla kyun go rahi? But the verb kame ho de? Which one is verb? Is. The only verb in the sentence we have is. But the verb sta? Do you have any other verbs? We don't have any other words. The only verb in the sentence that is called what is. But the sirf verb ke kamun sara de aga se shede is de muqtadal take. Bal verb muqtadal take nishta. We don't have any other words. So the de matlab da de che is mung sara dal take badi jumla ki sakar kai. Main verb. Auxiliary verb that among sara, is a main verb. But if I say is a helping verb, let me take another example. He is studying. He is studying. But he is studying what? English, for example. Look at this example. Is verb de, studying again it's a verb. Main verb kami udah dalta ke mung sara. Dalta ke main verb chede aga mung sara. Studying mung sara main verb de. Kami main verb de mung sara studying. Studying functions is a main verb. Or is pati ke mung sara bal verb hum dekha na is. Is kami verb so mung sara is a helping verb. मतलब auxiliary verb में से so functions कई द्वा पदी दियो example क्यों करे पदी example के in this example पदी किसी कमुंग सारा दे अगर कम function कई दीजिए कि it functions as a main verb. Clear? It functions as a main verb. और पदी बल के मुंग सारा से कवल is a helping verb. No उज़ता सनो detail के राज़ मदल तता उसका ज़ोया ना ठीक शो. हाँ no ordinary verb मुंग सारा सुमरा functions दी. It has got only one function. How many functions? One. It will always function as a father. But auxiliary verb has got two functions. It can function as a son and it can also function as a father. As a son. But when his father is missing, is a father. Let's take more examples to understand it in a better way. उसको रेगुलर he wrote a letter. Which one is verb? Wrote. Come here, verb namung sara? Ordinary. Very good. Ordinary verb. There's a jibal verb nishta kana dalta kamung sara. Clear? Ordinary verb namung sara. Come here, ordinary pade come here, verb de wrote. Very good. Now let's take another example. Is ordinary verbs. Ordinary verb ke mung sara. Clear? Come here, kar bakai. Always. Functions. Is a main verb. If I take an example, he plays. He plays cricket. He plays what? He plays cricket. But if you come here, what they plays. Functions se main verb de dam sara or ordinary verb mung sara sarf kar ke. Sure. But if I say another, he has played cricket. Padi jumla ke mung sara so verb di two. Yo mung sara sade has. Has the function kai functions is auxiliary show. ठीक शो और बल मंग सरा कमी होदे excellent played played से कार कई excellent it's an ordinary verb नाम से ordinary verb उदी जुमला की कोरे he has a book now पदी के वर्ब कमी होदे has function एक कमी होदे main verb दे दलता के it functions as a main verb. Excellent. But jumla ke has kame ukar ko helping verb. Mata sue ki auxiliary verb do functions di. It can function as a helping verb and it can also function as a main verb. Oh, padi ke mung saru gore played de no played hamesha main verb kar kai. Da auxiliary verb kar na kai mung sara. Abara koi shole auxiliary the verb mung so types di two. Yo tamanga seviu ordinary verb. Bal tamanga seviu auxiliary verb. Excellent. Clear? So let's take the other ordinary verbs among sara kafi dear their types thi. We have got more types. We have got a lot number of types, almost 10 different types we will study. Clear? It's a words ma already declaim di it's missing the landish tare dekhiye I will teach you. Clear? Aage ke transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, that all linking verbs, dynamic verbs. Clear? Causative verbs mung sara padi ki di stative verbs mung sara padi ki di phrasal verbs mung sara paage ke ठीक शो we have got more types of verbs we will be studying here. Damung sara told the city types these all of them are ordinary verbs. That told the types the Sishiwala all of them are types of ordinary verbs. Clear? Like ordinary verbs has got a lot number of types. I'll go one by one till the study go. No, Raze told now the first of all we will study about transitive verbs. What type of word? Transitive verb. Transitive verbs verbs first of all it's ordinary verb. Transitive verb, the sishi type ordinary verb there. It's a type of what? Ordinary verb. Clear? No, verb to come types further. We study verbs are basically divided into two types. How many types? Two. Number one, ordinary. Number two, auxiliary. The types the verb type the ordinary verb. Which one we will study? Transitive verb. Excellent. So let's talk about transitive verbs. What are transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are those verbs, they are followed by an object. When a verb, it takes an object, that is called transitive verb. Jikala verb nung tara se khali object hai. Whenever a verb, it takes an object that is called what? We call it transitive verb. Chikala the verb na baad mong sara se rashi object rashi mong sara. Clear? How it comes object sanga rashi was tas pare bane poyoma. It's easy, clear? I'm gonna explain it. When a verb, it takes an object that is called transitive verb. For example, if I say he plays. He plays what? He plays what? Cricket. Huh? Cricket. But if your verb come here, which one is verb? Play. Play. Clear? Plays is what? Plays is called verb. Damong sa verb de. The verb na baad mong sara cricket rage. What is cricket? Cricket is very good. Play mong sara verb show. And cricket mong sara sa show? Object show. No chikala the verb na baad sa rashi object rashi age tamanga besabe deke the verb mong sara de plays de. The ordinary verb there, it functions as a main verb. First of all, it's an ordinary verb. Then the ordinary verb come you type there. Transitive verb there. What is transitive verb there? Why is it transitive verb? Because it is followed by an object. Then about object. When a verb is followed by an object, that is called what? Transitive verb. Like for example, if I say more examples, if I give you, she eats mango. She eats mango, for example. Now, padi ki verb kami ude? Eats. Eats mang sara se show. It's a verb. The verb show. Or mango se show. Mango is object. Mango mang sara object show. No, eat the verb kami verb de mang sara. Which type of verb is it? It's called transitive verb. Why do we call it transitive verb? Because it takes in or it is followed by an object. Then about object ragale. Chikala the word na about object rashi age tamang transitive verb yo. Yaad satai. Active na passive jumla taso haga jumla change kawale shay become transitive verb. Sirf transitive verb mong sara the active na passive da bal rusu batao so inshallah de ban direct hoegi. Become intransitive verb ki aga mong ta active na passive ta ne change kigi. Only those words a sentence it contains object become transitive verb agar jumle mong tar active na passive ta transfer kigi chikala intransitive verb agar bayan kigi. ठीक sure? Is this clear? If I say, let me give you more example. She writes a letter, for example. But if you go right, verb kami ude writes mong sara verb show. ठीक sure? Yeah, letter se show. It's an object. The verb tamanga sinum view. Excellent. No, the tool verb simung sara di de tamanga transitive verb view. Transitive verb the kami verb form de ordinary verbs. Excellent. Ordinary to the auxiliary. It's an ordinary. Clear? For transitive verb, push me. Everyone? All right. Then we want to talk about types of transitive verbs. We will talk about what? Types of topic among selen piki you show zan ba poya way ठीक da. The transitive verb among further types the. First of all, we studied about verb. So verb so it shows us three things. Number one, physical, mental, and state of being. We have the verb two types, similar types, two types. Number one, ordinary. Number two, auxiliary. We have the ordinary types from the view. Transitive verb. The transitive verb about similar types, the three types. Let's talk about the types of what? Types of transitive verbs. Types and types of transitive verbs. The first one is called monotransitive. Monotransitive. Clear? What type of verb? Monotransitive. Second one is called ditransitive, and the third one we call it complex transitive. These are the three types of transitive verbs. Among the transitive verb, three types. What is mono? Monotransitive verb. Mono matlab say one. Mono means what? One. Mono means one. Clear? Mono means one. So if a word, it takes one object. If a word, it takes how many objects? One object. That is called what? Monotransitive. So come your word na baad yo object rashi. Sumra objects rashi, yo object rashi. Aga word tamanga se monotransitive. Awal pata so transitive word upe jando chile. So word na baad kala object ra gaya the transitive word. Kala the word na baad yo object ra gaya tabe se monotransitive. So here I have written some of the examples for you people for the monotransitive. Clear? Like for example, eat, drink, study, learn, play, see, drive, etc. Clear? They are called what? Monotransitive. Now let's take an example. Here are a few examples for that. Now she drinks coffee. She drinks what? Coffee. Coffee it's an object. What drinks. Sumra objects one object. Object is, we have only one object. Drinks is called monotransitive word. Why? Because we have got only one verb here. Next, she fed the cat. She fed the cat. Cat means it's an object. It's a noun. What is fed? Fed is called verb. Clear? So step number one, find the verb. Verb fed them. Step number two, ask what? Cat. It's an object. So the only object is what? The only object we have in this case, that is cat. Sumra object yo object. Alaya will read the book tomorrow. Alaya will read the book tomorrow. What she will do? She will read. What is read here? It's a verb. She will read what? Book. What is book in this case? It's an object. Yo object is a book. So it means read is called now monotransitive verb. So whenever a word, it takes one object, that is called what? We call it monotransitive verb. Let's talk about ditransitive. Di matlab se di means two. Di means what? Two. Clear? Di matlab de two. Di. Di means two. Matlab dare, to ditransitive verbs are words that it takes more than one object. It takes two objects. Ditransitive verbs takes how many objects? It takes two objects. Two objects. It's very easy, clear? So when a word, it takes, clear, two objects, they are called what? Ditransitive verb. Now here is an example. She buys. Buys. She buys what? A book. Book yo mungsara show. That se show mungsara object show. Da yo object show mungsara to her brother. Brother bulba object show. So object show mungsara two objects padi jumla. She buys a book to her brother. Now we have got two objects here. Yo object book show, but object mungsara se show brother show this in this case. So we have got two objects here. So the word buys, the then about two object rala, deta manga se buys mungsara kame word show. In this case, we call it ditransitive verb. Why do we call it ditransitive? Because it takes two objects. Like for example, if I say, Ahmad bought a car. Bought se shesho? It's a word. Car, object show. Now, brother, again object show. So object show munsara dwa. We got two objects. We've got two objects in this case. Car show, and the second one we have what? That is called brother. So we have got two objects in this case. They bought what show? Ditransitive. Why? Because it takes two objects. Now here, I sent. Sent work show. What is letter? It's an object. Huh? To Ayan. What is Ayan? Object. Again, it's an object. So how many objects do I have? Two. No sent master. So work there. Come transitive verb there. Ditransitive. Ditransitive verbs takes two objects. How many objects? Two objects. Very good. Let me explain in more detail now. it takes two objects. Yo object chikamung saravi number 1 agaba yo ba directory, and number 2 chikam object we agaba savi indirect. Transitive verb with two objects rise. So object rise dua. One of the object is direct object and the second object chimung sara de agaba kami bi indirect object. Usmang da wel gwadu che mung ta basinga patalegi, how would we come to know that it is direct object or indirect object? Che damung sara direct object hai indirect object hai, de mung ta sa patalegi. How we will come to know about it? Clear? So let's talk about that. As I said earlier, chimung sara badal take so objects raisi, two objects pamung sara raisi. Tik sho yo taba manga seveo direct object bal taba seveo indirect object pamung de tabe udal tarazu gulu no us wakshe mata. Now look at here. If I say I bought a car, clear, or I sent a letter to Ahmad. How many objects do I have? Two. Yo mung sara sache de letter de. Balka me ude masara Ahmad. Ha. Two objects see. Usmanga down find call word we want to understand about which one is direct object and which one is indirect object. Padi ke mung sara direct object kame ude or mung sara indirect object kame ude. We want to understand about the letter chede aya. Padi ke mung sara letter direct object chi au ka Ahmad ba direct object. We want to understand about it. Uzatas padi bani poyoma. How can we understand which one is direct or indirect? Clear? Number one, direct object is one object which is affected first by the word in a sentence. Number one, when you want to find out which one is direct object or indirect object, that's direct indirect object malum hol wadi no ne point da de musara the direct object aga object which is first affected by the word. Usgura pati jumla kyu gore? I sent a letter. I sent a letter to Ahmad. Or yazadal takewema. Suppose let me write another example to keep it easy. I bought a car. Padi kya ulane car se shevede. I bought a car for Ahmad, for example. Gura. I bought a car for Ahmad. So objects ti masar dwa. Yo masar car de, bal masar se shede Ahmad de. We have got two. I bought a car. Awal ma gada kaste awal ma Ahmad tawar kade de. First I bought car. No chikamiyo, when a word clear, direct object is that object that is affected first by the word. No tool na awal agasal cheve gada de. No munga padis ki understand kole shu chikar chede agasal chede masara direct object de number one. Indirect object se chede Ahmad de. Yo da pehchan shu mangsara. Dwem number sare. Indirect object is an object which takes some advantages from direct object. Second point. Point number two, we have that the indirect object takes some advantages from direct one. Direct master kami ude car de Ahmad se shere indirect de. Faida chata da Ahmad pada kana. Huh? Ahmad takes advantages of what? Of the direct car. No matlab indirect object chide agamung sara aga object wi chi chata awal faida melagi. Gada varta melagi chata Ahmad ta no Ahmad ta faida da. No dream number point da so. Dream number. Direct object usually refers to nouns of item, but indirect object usually refer to nouns of people. Direct object kala chide usually hamesha na amuman direct object aga object है जो कम यों मंग सारा शेयनु द पारे इस्तेमाली की things द पारे इस्तेमाली की और indirect aga object which कम मंग सारा usually it refers to what people फल को द पारे की उस पदी जुमले क्यों बोले I bought a car for Ahmad. Ahmad इंसान है, it's a human being, it's a person. no person mung sara indirect object razi. It's indirect. Or car mung sa shede, it's a thing. So we call it what? We call it direct object. But direct object is usually placed first, but indirect object is usually placed second. Direct mung sara awal istemali ki हमेशा ना usually और indirect पर द्विम नंबर पति जुमले क्यों करा अवल से चीज़ इस्तेमाल I bought a car अवल direct रागा ले रहे या indirect इस्तेमाल चले. Last point है sometimes direct and indirect object can be used interchangeably. The direct and indirect interchange के दे हमशी how? Let me explain it here. उसको रे दापर जुमले तक करे I bought a car for Ahmad. पति क्या बोल करे दामा सरा कार मासर डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट है इनडायरेक्ट से शेदे अहमद दे दा मासर इंटरचेंज के दे हम शी लगा दा अवल इनडायरेक्ट इस्तेमाल कम बिया डायरेक्ट इस्तेमाल कम हाउ फॉर एग्जांपल आई बॉट अहमद अ कार मा अवल इनडायरेक्ट इस्तेमाल को बिया में डायरेक्ट इस्तेमाल को बट रिमेंबर वन थिंग इन दिस केस नोट इन दिस केस preposition will be elided. पदे की वे preposition नहीं इस्तेमाल की पदे कैसे? What will not be used? Preposition will not be used. पदे क्यों करे preposition कम होते हैं? For रहता ना. For is preposition. पदे अवलेने जुमले के खुशता I bought a car for Ahmad. But can you see preposition in the second one? I bought Ahmad a car. मुकता so indirect अवली इस्तेमाल और वाड़े पे जुमले के it can be used. It is possible. But in this case we will not use what? We will not use preposition in this case. Let me give you more examples. If I say I sent a letter to Ayan. I sent a letter to Ayan. But देखिए indirect Ayan दे, देखिए इंसान दे, और direct कम हो दे this letter. If I say I sent Ayan a letter. But ये बोले नहीं क्यों करो टूश तक है ना? But द्विम के मार टू ने इस्तेमाल करा I didn't use. So if you want to use indirect object first and direct second, then we will not use in this case that of preposition. They are preposition मंगने इस्तेमाल हो. वो हम दा ठीक शुडिये समझता था? Now, is this clear to everyone? Full तक clear शो करना? That's good. Transitive verb so सुमरा मुंग सरा कम transitive verb कमी होता वही that takes what? Object. Very good. That takes an object. Superb. Monotransitive sa sumra objects rising. 1. Dai sar sumra rising. 2. Very good. Here are some of the examples that I have written here. Clear? But I have explained there. No need to study. If you want to study, you can study for yourself. These are the examples. You can watch on your screens. You can study by yourself. Okay, next, let's talk about the next type of transitive verb that is called complex transitive verb. Which word? Complex transitive verb. Now, in complex transitive verb, it takes what? It takes an object, your object Razi, and it takes also complement. Let me explain it here to you. In complex transitive verbs, it takes an object plus complement. It takes what? Object plus it takes an object plus complement. Clear? Complement muntarakhali. Complement complete the meaning of something. If I say she studies what? She studies English. Work studies. English means object है. Yo object शो मुंग सदल तक ना. English means सदल तो yo object शो. उस सर से yo complement होमा चावल वाला. She studies English. Where? तुम जी के study कहीं. 8. For example, if I say at Excel. At Excel Learners Academy. No padi jumla क्यों बोल रही? दी यो object हम वागस्तो, the object है मंग सारा. और बोले मंग से क्या वागस्तो? Complement हम वागस्तो. This is called complement. तमंग से दल तक object ने दे दिया object ने complement दे दल तक सही शो. Intransitive की बता सूची कल ऐसे intransitive verb explain को मारे की बता कोई चीज़ intransitive मंग बसिंग का page है. So she studies what? She studies English. Where? At Excel. No di jumle tamanga di work ta usmanga de studies chida kam work de padi jumla ke. Di ta umanga seviu. This word is called what? Complex transitive. Because it takes what? It takes one object plus complement de sara mangarate shi. Like for example, to gurai the faculty here in this sentence, the faculty elected se shade word de ayan. The faculty elected ayan dalta suke elect kale ayan is object shumung sara yeah the new academic deans no dalta ke mung se share the new complement clear. So we call it what? Complex transitive verb. Da mung sara kame number show third number show. Second type of chikamong sara verbs di age tamang sa view intransitive verb view. So what the view? Transitive verb and for three types mang develop mono, di, and complex. Now we want to move to the second type of verb that's called what? Intransitive verbs. What are intransitive verbs? Intransitive verbs are those verbs they do not take an object. Intransitive verbs are verbs di che the kam na baat se generalize mang sara. It does not take an object. Object in a baat ke narazi. Remember that intransitive verb it does not take an object. The object naili. Transitive verb na baat sara to object. Intransitive verb na baat object narazi mong sara. ठीक शो? बिया बला खबरा. How? Let me explain it here for you people. I said that intransitive verbs takes no object. Excellent. Intransitive verbs are those verbs it does not take an object. This is about object narazi. How? Let's study about it. I am happy, for example. I am happy. I am happy. But देखिए वर्ब कम हो रहे. M. Excellent. Then about object नहीं स्टडी हम सारा. Happy रहा है. Happy adjective है. There is no object here. Clear? So we call it what? M is intransitive. It's intransitive verb. That me word chomung sara? It's intransitive verb demonstrate. Then about object nastare. Ha. Us sawal dade chomung ba singa pigeon to that transitive verb there for that object among the singa pigeon. How would we come to know that either it's an object or not? Us tata se pata legi che happy chi kam de like we have got happy. Che the object hai kana de ta ba singa pata legi. How would you come to know about it? Nostalgia to para dalta kyo formula la taso badai yada kai. ठीक शो? You need to understand this formula to know about what objects. Let me keep it a little bit bigger that you can easily understand it. taso bada formula yada kai. ठीक शो? The formula ke mong sara sa shedi PATAP. You can say the top, clear? The top. That your formula the mong sara. Da bata so yaad sa ilan. PATAP. उस दल तक मung सरा the P मतलब से शेयर दा बोले नी P चिका मung सरा दे दलता P दे मतलब दे place expression. First of all ताऊ सख्तारी screen मानी. All right. मung सरा formula दा कम formula दलता के लान जब ताऊ सर्च दलता ताऊ सर्च दोबारा लिखम. PATAP. देखिए number 1 चिकम दे अगर से शेयर P दे. The P मतलब दे आता है मung सरा दे place expression. Place expression. Place expression मतलब दादे चिकम यो शेयर मुंग तसखै place खै. योजे चिकम खै अगर मुंग सरा योजे चिकम दे अगर मुंग सरा object में शिके दे कला हम. Like for example, let me tell you, I study at Ella, Excel Learners Academy. I study at Excel. If I write down Excel. But if you go right, study verb there. At Excel, tamang ta zay kana khay. Zay kana gulno. It shows place. No, at Excel, the at Excel master se show the place expression show. Se show place expression. और place expression चकला home को ये जुमला के राशि आगा object में शिके दे. That cannot be an object. No पति जुमला के मुंग सरो गोरे at Excel मुंग से show place expression दे. And place expression cannot be an object. या साथ है. इशो चकला home जुमला के the verb ना पास place expression राशि आगा object में भी. ठीक है? और the verb मुंग सरे चकम दे study दे. पति कैसे से show study. Excellent. Study mungsara intransitive verb. So, kami verb show? Intransitive verb de. Wali zaka chida mungsara object nishta de dal take. Number 1. Number 2 ba munga saku. Second number. The dwem number P che mungsara dekhe a de. A matlab de adjective. So, show? Adjective show. A matlab se de patap ke P yo mungsara P de dwem number A show mungsara. No A se she de masara dal take. Adjective. A matlab adjective. Chikala the verb nabat adjective raishi. When a verb is followed by an adjective, again that is called what? Agamang sar intransitive kiraisi. Like for example, the tasos the jumla joroma. Gore, if I say she looks beautiful. She looks what? She looks beautiful. But the verb kame ore? Looks mang sasachede? Looks is called verb, huh? The verb. Oh, beautiful sachede? Excellent. No matlab da de, che da verb mang sara beautiful or look check de da mang sara verb de, and the verb na baat sachera gale, what do we have here? It's an adjective. No de matlab da che da verb mong sara kami verb show? It's intransitive verb. Deta mong sa view? Intransitive verb. Da mong sa intransitive verb. Dream number bane. Bia mong sara patap ke sa shere T de. Sa shere T. T matlab de time expression. Time expression. Chikala verb na baad mong sara time expression rashi again that will not be object. Agar be object maybe. How? For example, if I write down, she studies in the morning. Or for example, let me keep it easy for you people. She studied yesterday. But एक वर्ब कम होते? Verb study. Show. Very good. Is equal to verb. Show. Oh, yesterday sakhay mungta. Time expression show kana. Huh? It's time expression. Yesterday, time expression show. No matlab it's a time expression. Yesterday is called time expression. Chikala hum the verb naba time expression rashi aga verb mung sara biya intransitive verb. Da mung sara kami verb bi intransitive verb mung sara dal taki rashi. Deta mung sibiu we call it intransitive verb. Is this clear? Ha. Fourth number bane biya mung sara se share a de again. A matlab de adverb. Chikala verb nabad adverb rashi biya ba hum mung sara aga se she that will not be object. Aga object ni shikere. For example, Zavema, she drives carefully. She drives carefully. Udal tak go right? Padi ke verb kami hote? Drives. Drives is verb. Or carefully se sheshu? It's an adverb. No matlab che verb na baat adverb ra gaye. No da ma sara kami verb shu? Intransitive verb. Last one, number 5 ke mung sara se shede? P. P matlab preposition. We have got what? Preposition. Tishu, for example, let me give you an example. She goes to school. She goes to school. Verb kami ude? Goes. Verb na baat se she mung sara gale. To ragale de. To se she shu. No matlab che kala verb na baat preposition ragale. Aga kami verb bhi mung sara? Intransitive verb. Did you get it? Yes. The formula by yaad कि कल हम the verb na baad mung sara patap rashi. Place expression, time expression, preposition, adverb, clear? और mung sara या adjective rashi. आगे तो हम कैसे भी intransitive verb अभी आगे तभी हमेशा याद साथे कि intransitive verb कल हम को जुमला के राशि आगे मung ta active na passive ta निशी जोड़े देले. That is sumram examples माता उस तो उली कल clear I wrote they cannot be changed to passive. Like उस पुख्तों की जगह में she goes to school. The passive ta ta very school. She goes to school. School is gone by her. गलत है क्या? नहीं change की जगह से कम जुमला के home object ने भी it cannot be changed into passive form. नो कला home intransitive verb मुंगतरे जो कला intransitive verb भी it will not change into passive. Thank you so much. It was today's lecture. Inshallah, we will study list of the types of verb. Inshallah, by tomorrow. Thank you so much.